Well, ahoy there, and welcome to this Cruise Like a Pro video.
We're going to take a look at our top tips whether you're a seasoned cruiser or a new cruiser. This video is for you.
So tip number one is to research your cruise. First, look at maybe the itinerary and think about where you want to go and, for example, how many port days you'd like. Also, think about the cruise line you wish to travel with. Each cruise line offers something different, and within each cruise line, each ship can offer you a completely different experience, attracting a different crowd. So look at YouTube videos. These are a great way to look at a ship before you travel, and look at websites such as Cruise Critic. If in doubt though, ask. Forums and other websites are always more than happy to help, and people are always more than happy to answer any questions. Now, we've done this before where we've booked a cruise based on the price and the itinerary, and we ended up on a ship that just really didn't cater to us. So you don't want to end up on a party ship when you maybe want something more relaxing or vice versa. So tip number one is research, and if in doubt, just do some more research.
Now, picking a cabin. If you're the sort of person who goes on holiday and only spends time in there sleeping, an inside cabin might be right for you. Don't have any outside views, but you can always turn on the TV and watch the live view of the bridge. And some companies now have things called virtual balconies, which is a giant HD TV on your wall, which gives a live view of the outside world. We love having a balcony. I feel a little bit claustrophobic sometimes, so it takes that away a little bit. There's nothing better than having drinks on an evening outside on the balcony, or just watching the world go by during the day. Especially in the mornings, it's really nice opening up your curtains and there's a brand new view outside. If you're a person who is sort of prone to seasickness or any sort of travel sickness, we recommend choosing a cabin which is close to the centre of the ship. It's called the midship. There's less inertia here and less movement, so you've got less of a chance of experiencing some seasickness. Booking a guaranteed cabin as well. This means booking a cabin in a certain class, such as an inside cabin or a balcony cabin, and you're guaranteed that class of cabin, but you're not given a room number or a location. So you won't know the deck, you won't know whereabouts on the ship it is, but you're guaranteed that class of cabin or above. We've been upgraded once before and it was really good, so we got a free upgrade. It doesn't happen all the time. The only downside with booking a guaranteed cabin would be that you don't get any of the benefits of the normal deals that are on. So if there's an onboard credit deal or all-inclusive package, you won't get that with the guaranteed deal. But the thing is, you can save an absolute fortune and then still afford to pay for the extras that you missed out on.
So as well as researching your cabins and the cruise that you're going to go on, we highly recommend that you research the upcoming ports of call. If you're going to book a shore excursion through the cruise line, they guarantee that you're going to be back on the ship before the departure time. But you can save a bit of money by booking through a third-party company. However, you just really need to make sure that these are a reputable company and that the tour is going to get you back on the ship before the all-aboard time, because if you're late, the ship will not wait. But don't be afraid sometimes to go it alone. Just research the upcoming port and make sure that it is safe for you to get off the ship. What we'd recommend to do is research things such as local taxi companies, costs maybe from the port to a certain place, or if there's a free shuttle bus, for example, from the port to the town. If you don't fancy visiting that particular port of call that day, we think it's a great day to explore the ship and make the most of the facilities. Generally, as people get off the ship becomes a bit of a ghost town, so you can enjoy all the facilities without the crowds. Also look out for special offers. Sometimes the spa will offer a special offer on a port day, so just go to the spa and ask if they've got any special offers for that day. It's a great time to make the most of the ship, relax and chill.
Oh, excuse me. Now my favourite part, food. While you're on the ship, eat as much as you like. If you're at the main dining room and can't pick between your favourite appetiser of chicken or beef, why not order both? You're on holiday, so just enjoy it. If there's nothing on the menu that you like, why not ask one of the servers? They can check with the chef to see if there's anything else available. And if you have any special dietary requirements, let the cruise line know before. They're really accommodating.
So after all that food, you're probably worried about gaining weight. Well, there's no need to worry, as most cruise ships have a gym on board. We like to do a bit of exercise in the morning so that we don't feel as guilty having that extra piece of cake in the afternoon. Alternatively, they'll also have a running track and a walking deck. It's a really nice way to get a bit of exercise in and get a bit of fresh air. You can also just take the stairs. You'll be up and down the stairs all day that you'll be working off them extra desserts you ate the night before. There's also healthy options on all the menus too, but don't go too crazy. You're on holiday, just enjoy yourself.
Specialty dining, excursions, drinks and gratuities are not usually included in the price of your cruise. Bear this in mind when booking because these things can really add up. Cruise lines usually use a cashless system, so your room key acts as a credit card. You can put a limit on this. We especially recommend doing this for kids as you don't want them spending loads of money in the arcade without you knowing. You can check your balance in a number of ways. We recommend doing this daily just to keep an eye on how much you're spending. You can do this by popping down to guest services and having them print off a balance, or some cruise liners you can even check on the television, which is really good. It gives you an up-to-date balance. We recommend though booking these things before you even get on the cruise. Book your excursions, book your drinks packages if you want them, and pay off your gratuities before even getting on the ship. This way you have the peace of mind of knowing you don't really have anything to pay for when you're away.
So another top tip from us is to always arrive at the port the night before. You may be able to travel down during the day, but you really don't want to risk it. You don't know what the weather's going to be like. Flights could be cancelled, there could be gridlock on the roads, and the ship will not wait for you. So arrive at the night before and be ready and just be relaxed that you're going to be at the port ready for your ship's departure the next day.
Make sure that you pack a hoodie or a sweater. It might be boiling on the outside, but on the inside you usually have the air conditioning on full blast, so it can get quite chilly. Also, walking around on a deck on the evening, even in the Caribbean, it can get quite breezy and cool, so it's nice to have a hoodie just in case. If you're going on a cruise that starts off, for example, somewhere warm, then somewhere cool, bring plenty of layers so you have something for all weather. Just in case it rains, bring a brolly or a mac as well, just so you're covered for every scenario.
Okay, so we recommend that you take a watch on holiday with you. The ship doesn't have that many clocks around, and it's always good to know what time it is, particularly if you've got activities planned or meals booked. Now, while you may think you've got your phone, it's not always reliable, and you don't want to be by the pool with your phone in case it gets wet. So I say get a cheap watch. I picked up one for about £5. It was waterproof, and it means that you can be on the beach, you can be in the sea, and you can be in the pool, and you don't have to worry about it because it only cost me £5. So I know what time it is all the time. Also, this is great for when you're off the ship because you really don't want to miss the ship's departure time.
Our next tip is to decorate your stateroom door. Now, we know this sounds a little bit silly, but when you're walking down corridor upon corridor with hundreds of doors, it's really hard to locate your cabin sometimes, especially after you've had a few drinks. So literally just stick something on your door. Most doors are metal, so just stick a magnet on there or something just so you can identify your room quickly.
Some cruise liners offer self-service laundrettes. This is great because it means all you have to do is bring detergent with you and you can use the laundrette while you're on board. If, however, your cruise liner doesn't offer that, we recommend wrinkle-free spray. Yes, it's a real thing. Wrinkle-free spray is a great way for you to get the kinks and all the creases out of your clothes. Alternatively, you could just hang your stuff up in the shower and let the steam do that for you. Most cruise liners also offer a dry cleaning service as well as a wash and a press service. While this can be costly, check because there may be a special offer such as fill a bag for a wash and a press.
So when's the best time to book a cruise? Do you get in there early or do you book right at the last minute? Well, it's $1 million question. Prices can go up and down. It's like an airline, it's supply and demand. So the more people that book a cruise, the higher it's going to go up. If you do book early though, you can get some fantastic deals. You can get things like all-inclusive drinks packages, dining packages, and great onboard credit. If you do leave it to the last minute, you can also get some fantastic deals without the normal onboard credit or all-inclusive packages, but the savings you can make are just as good. But you need to be more flexible with your time and dates. But if you are, go for it, why not? If you do choose to book early and you're booked in the US, keep an eye on the price. If it goes down, you can call the cruise line or the travel agent and get that money off in the form of onboard credit. Unfortunately, in the UK and most of the rest of the world, this isn't the case. So you'd need to see a really big price drop to make it worth cancelling, losing your deposit, then rebooking at the new price and getting it cheaper. We do also recommend you book on board on the Future Cruise desk. Here you can get some extra special discounts, some great onboard credit and all the normal all-inclusive deals. If you normally book with a travel agent, that's fine too. Let them know and they can transfer the booking to them so you can get all the benefits from them too.
You need to check what electrical outlet your cabin will have. You may need to bring along an adapter. Some cruisers also prefer to bring a power strip. This gives them loads of places that they can charge all their electrical devices, but you need to be careful as some cruise liners are prohibiting these on certain cruises. We also recommend that you bring some sort of LED or battery powered light. This is great for those nightly bathroom trips as the cabin can become really dark, especially if you're in an inside cabin. We just use one of the LED glow in the dark ice cubes that you get in the bar. We just use that and we pop it in the bathroom so that during the night we can see where we're going.
We do recommend that you check with your cruise line what you can and can't take on before you leave. You can do this usually by checking the cruise liner's website of the lists of what's allowed and what's not allowed. Things like irons or travel kettles are strictly prohibited, but you can take on items such as hair dryers and hair straighteners. If you do have anything you're unsure about or have any things such as specialist medical equipment, check with the cruise line before. They may need to do a safety check on it. Bikes are usually allowed, but you need to check with your cruise line beforehand. Let them know so they can put it in the storage between the ports. Drinks wise, you can usually take up to 2 bottles of wine per stateroom. This does vary from cruise liner to cruise liner, so check their individual policy. You can usually drink this in your stateroom completely for free or take it down to a restaurant for a corkage fee. This usually costs around $15–25 depending on the liner. I recommend the screw type tops though for the bottles of wine, but you can get a corkscrew if you ask your stateroom host nicely. Obviously leave weapons at home. Anything that resembles a weapon, such as knives, pocket knives, leave all that at home so you don't get it taken off you when you're bored.
So that's it for our top tips video. Thanks for watching. If you have any advice of your own, just pop it in the section below and we'll add it to our next video. And in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe.
Join us next week when we're going to be looking in depth at Royal Caribbean to see if it's a cruise liner for you. That's it for now. Happy cruising.